GMP applies to both production and laboratory operations and places certain obligations on quality control laboratories in relation to figures and calculations. These are that all calculations must be recorded and checked by a second person. Figures and calculations are the critical element in all GMP documentation, whether SOPs, specifications or reports, and since these are matters of compliance and hence verification, the existence of calculations as records should be easy to your next vendor audit. So, it's obviously very important that calculations are done not only correctly, but are recorded in such a way that they can be checked and verified. This is a very basic subject. However, people, even experienced people, make mistakes and, heaven forbid, even cut the odd corner. So, in this module, we're going to review 5 aspects of figures and calculation, namely, units of measure, significant figures, is to record the units of measure for all values. The FDA requires it, but even if they didn't, it makes good sense. Units of measure is, admittedly, very basic indeed. However, the point at issue is always to note them so that there can be no misunderstanding, and to ensure that the records show them for future examination. We're talking such things as temperature in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit, weight in grams or milligrams, pounds or ounces. When recording data for calculation or summarizing data from calculations, it's important that the number of figures should be just enough to express the quantity adequately, with due regard both to the specifications involved and to the accuracy of the measuring system. For example, if a 1 pound bag of salt equals 453.59243 grams, we're presenting the metric quantity in a total of 8 significant figures. Refers to the number of digits or figures to the right of the decimal point. When calculating or recording data derived from modern digital measuring equipment, extreme care must be taken to use the correct number of significant figures and decimal places. The correct procedure is to refer to the specification. For instance, it may specify 15 milligrams precisely. If the specification is so given to 2 significant figures, we should measure and record to 2 significant figures. The convention for rounding is quite clear. If the specification calls for 3 significant figures, then if the figure immediately to the right of the last significant figure you require is 1, 2, 3, or 4, then round down. If it is 5, 6, even the most 7, experienced 8, of us can get bamboozled when writing and recording all those zeros. Certainly a lot of zeros gives the opportunity for error in transcription and are very difficult to check. We get round this by writing these numbers as simple numbers raised to the power of 10. The convention for doing this is to have only one figure to the right of the decimal point, and the remaining figure